You've most likely heard the phrase, the only thing certain in life is death and taxes. Well, we could add another certainty. The only thing certain in life is death, taxes, and stadiums. Why are stadiums a certainty? Taxes pay for them. So I speak to you from common ground. We're alive, we pay taxes, and we go to football games. Maybe, but not certainly. There's a few reasons for that, and I'd like to raise your awareness to one of them. Most of us simply can't afford it. Such is the case in Cincinnati. In September 2011, Business Weekly published an article listing Cincinnati as the 7th poorest city in the country, based on 2010 data that 30.6% of the people lived in poverty. While the city has certainly fallen on some tough times, they do have a couple of things to be cheerful of. They do love their Bengals. But do their Bengals love them? I'd hope so. According to research by Harvard University professor Judith Grant Long, $555 million of public money funded building the team stadium. Well, if the Bengals and their NFL partners are thankful, they sure have a funny way of showing it. The average single season ticket is $72. Be sure to bring your binoculars and a full stomach and some extra cash, as you'll pay $20 to $50 to park, but don't put that wallet away too fast. When you get to the stadium, the generous folks at Anheuser-Busch Corporation are happy to welcome you with another beer, for just about $8. Too much? Well, maybe ask someone from the Bengals to help you out. They should be able to. Forbes magazine online reported the team's annual revenue to be about $236 million, with 118 of that million paying just the players' salaries each year. Something tells me those guys are earning that 30.6%. But Cincinnati is merely one of the many examples of public dollars funding stadiums. In Minnesota, the Star Tribune reports that city officials and Minnesota Vikings team owner Ziggy Wilf are negotiating stadium proposals of over $900 million, where at least a third of that money will come from tax sources. While the Miami Herald recently reported that a couple Florida lawmakers are demanding that teams return millions of taxpayer dollars for failing to comply with state law that required facilities be used as homeless shelters on nights where no event was to occur. In that article, Florida Senator Michael Bennet, a Republican, was quoted in saying, "We have spent over $300 million in supporting teams that can afford to pay a guy $7, $8, or $10 million a year to throw a baseball 90 feet. I think they could pay for their own stadium." While it's encouraging to know that some officials have the public in mind, it's discouraging to see teams seek max profit not just from their fans, but the public that supports them without choice. Even more discouraging is seeing more and more public aid programs cut because of denied state funding, while 70,000 members of the community pay ridiculous prices to teams that claim it's all about the fans when they attend their single games. It's a simple concept, really. To quote a famous sports movie, if you build it, they will come. Well, that philosophy will stand true until the taxpayers in our community act and decide together when enough is simply enough. If public funds are used to fund public facilities, the cost to attend the events within should be fair to the public.